Hey, it's your friend Dinner Dog, and today we're going to talk about opening the entrance teleporter because, you've been in this situation before, right? You want to use the teleporter, but there's this damn wall in the way, and you can't hit the plunger on the other side to open it, right? And that's frustrating and it sucks, and you don't want to be in this situation. So, what's the solution? Well, you make sure you open it every time at the outer wall. But in this video, I'm going to talk about why you don't want to do that. We're going to talk about how long it actually takes to perform that action and the reasons for not doing it. This will be a fairly short video, but if you want background music, there's a suggestion, link in the description. All right, so it takes 26 to 27 seconds to open it without a shield. So what I'm doing here is if you get to the outer wall and you're opening that teleporter, you want to open the outer wall teleporter. You definitely want to do that, right? There's a number of reasons. I mean, that's a convenient teleporter to get back over there. You probably haven't visited the library yet, and you probably will at some point to do the mist check to go to the Soul of Bat location. And so the other cool thing is you get to make the elevator come to the top by even just reloading the outer wall, right? So that in itself is very cool. But aside from that, you could use the teleporter to go to the entrance teleporter and hit that plunger down and then open it, right? So that you don't get stuck later on. But you're probably not going to get stuck later on. And it takes almost 30 seconds to do it. So let's explore what situations you're actually going to come across and why almost all the time you're just going to be wasting 26 to 27 seconds. So really the only time you want to open that teleporter fully is you're at the outer wall and you've just got jeweled open, right? And so you're reasonably afraid that if I go down to the caverns, right, and I get nothing or essentially nothing, that I'm now going to have to go around the whole castle. And to avoid that horrible fate, I want to open up the entrance teleporter so I can get the hell out of there. But let's be real, that probably doesn't happen very often. And if it does happen, like, what are the scenarios here? So let's say that you have gone through the caverns and you just get one of these situations, right? So let's say you get Leapstone, and we're going to assume that you got it Merman statue, because if you got it Scylla, you could have went down to the catacombs and through the mines, right? So if you get Leapstone, just continue to the Colosseum. Like, it's faster to get to the Colosseum from the outer wall, right? But when you take into account the 27-ish seconds to open the teleporter and then go back through the teleporter, it's pretty much the same time to get back there, especially because you'll be a bit faster going through the lab than you would have the first time, right? Like, you've got Leapstone, you can pass through the first screen without going through the Major League Gaming skeleton, and you've probably got a weapon, so things are going to die, and there's no boss fight in the middle, right? So you actually go through there fairly quickly. And I would say at best you're going to be a wash, but you've guaranteed that time being, like, you've already used that 27 seconds. Where if you just get Leapstone, it'll be like the same amount of time you get there anyways. If you get gravity boots, it's perfect. Just go through the lab and do all those checks, and then go to Coliseum, right? Like, that's not a bad situation. So, like, going back to the outer wall really doesn't make a lot of sense at that point. The If you've got the rings, it's the same situation as the Leapstone, and if anything, you know you're gonna get flight. Like, going back to the other wall doesn't make much sense because you'll do it in the same amount of time. The only real situation is if you have nothing. And if you have nothing, then you've got two options. You can go to the keep through the chapel, which sucks, or you can go through the outer wall if you know the bridge skip, which is the next video in this series. But if you know how to do the bridge skip effectively, then you're probably just going to do that anyways, right? So, like, I don't know. I don't think it's really worth it. I think that, like, you probably won't even get to this situation here that you'll get nothing. But if you do, 50% of the time, you're breaking even. 25% of the time, you don't even care because it's probably better to go to the lab anyways. And so, like, 25% of the time, you might save time, but only if you're okay with the bridge skip. And if you're not, you've got to go through the chapel anyways. So, in a nutshell, save yourself 26 to 27 seconds. It can be the difference in a race, and you almost never run into a situation where it's useful. Prove me wrong though in the comments, and if there are other situations I didn't think about, then I'll put them in the pinned comment. Otherwise, open the outer wall teleporter, yes, but you should use the entrance teleporter to get to the entrance rather than leave the entrance in the majority of situations. Anyways, that's all for me. We'll see you soon. Cheers.